Our project is titled History Sent Me to the Nursing Home. The driving question behind our project is, how can we best preserve unique history and bridge the gap between generations? This is a 4-week project in which 9th grade students will visit the local nursing home where they will interview residents about their individual experience of historical events. Additionally, students will provide company to these individuals and eventually develop lasting friendships. The students will then compile a documentary telling the stories of each of the nursing home residents. The documentary will both document the stories of unique history, but will also capture the development of relationships between the students and the elderly. This documentary will then be shown to the entire community and will leave a lasting legacy. We hope that each year the next group of 9th graders will continue this project. For our launching event, we will have a resident from the nursing home come in to tell his or her unique story. This will provide the students with an opportunity to ask the volunteer questions all about their life. The students will then get their assignments with the name of the resident they will interview and research the year that person was born so that they can begin their research on the time period. Students will take time to research and become more knowledgeable about the time periods, so they will be prepared to create interview questions that are relevant to the resident's life and experiences. The classroom will be designed to foster collaborative research with other students. Research tables will be circular and will allow for students to work together researching similar time periods. The students will visit the nursing home for the first time on the Wednesday after the launching event. During this time, the students will ask general questions to get to know their resident better. Students will then take time to come up with a series of 7 to 10 quality interview questions that they will ask their resident. Interview questions are to be both relevant to the individual and their time period. Students will also learn about proper interview techniques and about follow-up questions. After this first visit, a film expert will come to the classroom to educate the students on film equipment and the procedures for filming and editing a documentary. The students will then visit the nursing home for the second time on the Friday of that first week. At the nursing home, they will meet with their resident and begin asking their interview questions. Students should be asking follow-up questions and engaging their residents in conversations relevant to their life experiences. During this 2-hour time frame, students will also be responsible for recording their individual interviews, which will then be compiled to one large documentary. The students will visit the nursing home Wednesdays and Fridays for the first 2 weeks, where they will continue to ask their interview questions, get to know their resident, and record their individual piece of the documentary. On the days when students are not in the nursing home, they will have time to work on other aspects of the project, such as editing the clips they have filmed, doing more research, and collaborating with other students in their class. As the project progresses, the film expert will come into the classroom again to refresh the students' memories on working with film. The film expert will also work with students by answering any questions the students may have and helping them with any editing issues. During class time the rest of the third week, the students will be given half the time to work on editing their documentaries and to finish any other work for their project. Students will often be broken up into small groups where they will work together at a curved desk with computers compiling individual clips into a larger final project. The other half of the class time will be reserved for history lessons that could aid in the students' understanding of the time periods that they are researching and conducting interviews on. History lessons may include topics such as World War II and the Vietnam War. On the Monday of the fourth week of the project, the film expert will visit the classroom for a final time to review the final documentary and help with any last-minute issues, as well as to help the students finalize their documentary. The rest of the final week of the project, the students will review their work, making any final changes to prepare for the showing of the documentary to their school and to their community. The students are also required to write a reflection paper based on their experience with this project and their experience in the nursing home. The paper should summarize the experience and express what they have learned and how they can take this knowledge into the world to create a lasting legacy. On the final Friday of the project, there will be a showing of the students' documentary in front of the entire school and community. Family, friends, and the nursing home residents are all encouraged to come so they can learn about the elderly members of their community as well as to support the ninth grade class. Finally, by the end of this project, we expect that all the students will learn about history through a unique set of stories not told in history books, while also understanding and developing friendships with the elderly community. The hope is to both bridge the gap between generations and preserve unique history through the documentary. This documentary will leave a lasting legacy by documenting and highlighting the history that the members of their community experience firsthand.